Guys, we are here on a windy Friday evening at Long McArthur Ford here in Salina, Kansas. We are here to say hi to one of our friends, Tim Bartz, the internet sales manager here. We're going to take a look at some of the custom things they're doing here at Long McArthur Ford. We're going to talk about some of the EVs, like the new Mach E Rally for 25. And then we're going to see his podcast setup, which is something that I've had my eye on for a while. It's really cool to watch what he does here with their weekly podcast. They talk a lot of things, Ford, job 1, job 2, when different things are going to be built, lots of details that you won't find anywhere else. Let's talk to Tim, let's go see him, and let him show us around. Guys, we are here in Salina, Kansas with Tim Bartz, Ford video guy. Is that the tag?
Yeah.
And you are on Facebook, Twitter, X Twitter.
Yeah.
Where else can they find you?
Threads, Instagram.
And then the YouTube channel is where you do your podcast.
Yep. Long McArthur.
Yeah, so
YouTube channel.
We're going to go check that out, that studio, in just a second. We are here at the dealer on my way back to California. I am trying to stop at as many places, and this route is taking me right through where Tim is, and I had to stop. So I messaged him. I said, hey, I'm coming through. He stayed late for me. He's got dinner plans. So let's go do a quick look at where his podcast is. And we're going to let him get some food and something to eat. And then we are going to charge up the Lightning way over there. And then we'll get back and continue on our way to Colorado. So let's go take a look inside. This is the first time I've seen a Mach E Rally that looked like this. Is this a new for 25, or is this something custom that you guys did? I've just never seen it with this package of color and striping.
So the wheels are new for 25 model year. So that color, because otherwise they were white before.
Yep.
Which is what mine is. But so now you can get gray or the white. So we did gray on this one and the yellow one.
And you've had a Mach E before.
Yeah. In fact, mine's right outside.
Are you a stripe person or no stripe person?
Yes. Yeah, I got the pack stripe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because see, these have the new. Hopefully it doesn't go off on us. These have the shifter where it's up here now.
Oh yeah, look at that. So they've removed and put the shifter on top here. Kind of hard to see that, but there you go. Yep. There's the shifter.
And that's something a lot more storage and stuff down there. You know.
Yeah, it really opens up the space on the 25. I know people are a fan of that.
Yep. And then of course they added the heat pump. So. So when they added the heat pump, you had more space in here in the front area, so you lost a little space, but you get the heat pump, which is, I think, a good alternative, right?
Especially out here in Kansas, where you're going to have those winters that are going to definitely matter when it comes to the heat pump. The 25 that I have has the heat pump for the Lightning, and that's something that I know makes a huge difference for folks on the East Coast and for folks in places like Kansas, where it is going to get truly cold, not like California, where it just gets chilly at best.
All right.
Well, let's go check out your studio, Tim.
All right.
So guys, Jealousy Unlocked. This is the coolest podcast studio I have seen. To be transparent, it's actually the only podcast studio that I have seen. But so far, you're number one on top of the list. My setup is nothing like this. It's much more amateur, but you can see the great background that you always use. Tell us about who we have here and kind of how this all evolved.
Yeah, so this is my son, Jeff. He is one of the 3 people as part of our YouTube or video team, I might say. And so one of the jobs that we have is our job to picture every car, new and used. When it comes through to our lot, we have, 250 or more new vehicles and about 200 used. So a lot of vehicles that get pictured through here. And he's actually right now editing and uploading our photos. We don't really do a lot of editing. We just lighten up, get the shadows out of the underneath and that kind of thing. But then he upload them and everything. But he also helps. He does all my thumbnail editing. He's the one that creates all my thumbnails for me, and shorts as well. He does those for me too. So it's a team effort. So then of course Sarah's on the podcast with me as well, and she takes on some of the tasks that I have as internet manager. So we kind of a dual role, not just videos, but also my job is to make sure everything online that you see is something that I'm responsible for. So it takes Sarah helping out with that so that I could be able to have some time to create videos.
Yeah, and I love that this is like a whole family dynamic where you've got right? The general manager is your brother-in-law.
Yep.
And now you've got your son.
Yep.
And you've been here since pretty much, what, week 1 of opening?
Yeah. This dealership, the location here, opened up 24 years ago. So I just celebrated my 24th year just a week ago. So.
And how long have you been doing this, the internet piece of it? Because I think this was something that when I came across you, it wasn't nearly as common. Today, it's a very common thing.
Yeah.
But you've been doing this before it was a thing, really. Like, how did that come to be? It was like, where did it come from? How long have you been doing it?
So I've been an internet manager for almost 22 years of that. But at one point, about 2015 or so, I learned that video was starting to get kind of popular in some aspects. It kind of, wasn't so popular for a while, but I picked it up and said, I'm going to take this back and try it out. I mean, my goal is always to try out something new, something different, and see if it works. Just like our builds that we talked about,
Yeah.
We try something, and if it works, we might have something, and we go from there. Same way with this. I started doing the videos, and it's just kind of paid off, and started doing walk-arounds, and it's kind of gone from there. So, yeah.
And when do you normally do your podcast? Because you've got some that are like live as news happens, and then do you have a regular schedule as well, or is it just...
No, we just usually don't do. The only live one we do is our Tuesday night podcast.
Yeah.
At 7 p.m. Central, and we record that right here.
Okay.
And so we stay late. We kind of moved it to 7 so that most of the business is gone. There are some people here finishing up, their car deal right now, so you can see they kind of stay a little bit late sometimes. But,
yeah.
And then so that's the one we do live. But then I have a video that we usually about every day I'm working on a video. So Monday is Maverick video. We do the live stream Tuesday. Wednesday is Bronco Sport. Thursday we do a special video for our members. So if you're a member of the channel, then you'll get a video on Thursday. And then Friday I've been starting to do a Ford video. I just had one go live right before you got here, actually. And then Saturday we do Super Duty. So 6 days a week we're doing a video of some sort. Usually goes out. So
that's awesome. Well, let's walk through your rig real quick, and then we'll let you get on for your dinner that you've got.
Yeah.
Let's walk through what you've got set up.
All right. Well, I do have a lot of Bronco stuff. So, of course, we're pretty big in the Bronco community, having a Bronco myself. So we've been trading patches and everything. But over here, we do have 2 computers set up. So this isn't really that sophisticated. Usually I'll use, anytime it's just me in the video, I use this as my background. That's up 100% of the time. And so I have this camera here. This is the Elgato, right? The Elgato cam that I usually have, and I'm using that monitor straight on. And then I've already shut down for the night, sorry. And then I'm usually using this mic here, which is that's not a Rode mic. What kind of mic is that?
I think it's
Sure. Yeah, Sure mic.
Yeah.
So we actually when we went to the New York Auto Show one year, we said, hey, we need to be able to not have the music background and the background from the showroom. What do we need? And they actually told us exactly what to get. So with B&H in New York. So that was really cool going and talking to the guys. And so they got us all set. The whole setup is we got when we were there. But so we actually have 2 of those mics. The other one I have tucked down here. I only bring it out when I need to for the podcast, which is once a week. So I just set that up here. So we usually, at that point, we used to have 2 cameras. This one down here. We had one there and one here. But now people have liked the quality of this camera so much that we just actually, I'm not real complicated here. We just do this.
That works, though. Simplest is easiest.
We just do that, adjust it, and we go. So on the podcast, you'll see the 2 of us across from each other, Sarah and I, on the podcast. So that's how sophisticated and we get. But 2 monitors just so that I can get a lot more done a lot faster. Because typically I have this and just for my, different, things for my job, internet manager, not necessarily for video, but it is kind of nice having we use StreamYard for ours.
Yeah.
I'm using StreamYard there, but then also I can have other things that we're showing on the screen if I need to over here, and I can see the chat and everything else. So.
Yeah, StreamYard is the same thing we've started to use for Turn Down for What, and I appreciate you being a friend of the show. I've seen you come in on chats. You've joined us for a chat. Really cool just to have you be a part of those episodes and to support us and to just kind of give us your approval as the official Ford video guy.
I have to, being what I do, I have to know all the models, not just the EVs, and so it's really nice going over there and learning from you guys on the electrified, the people that are driving them every day. I have an EV. I don't drive it. You know, I'm kind of 50-50 on, you know, how often I drive it versus.
So you got your Mach E, you got your Bronco.
Yep.
Is that your garage right now?
Yep. And then my wife drives the Expedition.
Yeah.
So,
it's a great garage.
Those are our vehicles. So
yeah.
the Bronco is just a fun vehicle for us to go off-road and enjoy and do all that. But I drive a little bit more, and especially in the summertime, it's nice to kick that top back.
Absolutely.
and have fun with that. But yeah, but the Mach E is in there. I had a Lightning for about a year. So, you know, getting used to that and everything, but I don't get a chance to really drive it, and especially the charging part of it. I don't do that often.
Yeah.
You know, I just charge at home, you know, and it's pretty simple. You know, I'm not on the go charging. So
right.
Unless we do a trip or something, or we go on we have to go to the airport, because usually we don't have an airport here that I can fly out of very easily. So I'm usually, you know, using a charger on the way to Kansas City or on the way back. But other than that, you know, I like to learn from you guys that do it more regularly, right?
Well, we love having you and interacting with you. I always learn. I never knew what the difference between job 1 and job 2 was. The stuff that you go through on your show, it's not just great for like fans of Ford, but it's awesome for dealers. I see other dealers and other sales folks that are watching your content, learning, especially folks that are young and kind of getting new to the business. I've met folks and I've said, hey, you got to watch this stuff. This is when you start learning when orders can be put in. This is how you can learn. You're really creative with how you speak to if there's going to be a delay in an order, and how you can make it so that your customer won't get a delay. The detail and the knowledge you have on that stuff is second to none, man. Great job with it.
Yeah. We enjoy helping people out.
Well, let's get out of here and let you grab some dinner. We're going to hit the road and keep on going to Colorado. We still got hours of driving ahead of us. You've got a good meal waiting for you. We're going to wrap this up. I'm going to head back to the truck. Before I leave, I wanted to show you guys the secret warehouse, the place where all the magic, the Willy Wonka of Ford upgrades. This place is amazing. If you check this out, they call these the lightning bolts. These are custom-made conversions. Tim's going to tell us what they're doing here. Let's talk about these, Tim. Tell us, what's the story with these that you guys are doing? This is unique to Long McArthur, isn't it?
Yes. So there are a lot of dealers that are doing what they call their sleeper, you know, lowered street trucks and such, where they take that regular cab and they just, you know, they go ahead and put a supercharger in it, and then it's a sleeper. And some of them are lowering them as well, but we like to just make the whole package. So when you come get one from us, there's nothing you have to do afterwards. You don't have to, you know, do this or that because you wanted this. We just make it a whole package, and you get it at one place. And so you can kind of see there, we're doing 3 at once right here. We have 3 techs, and that's all they do, are putting these lightning bolts together. This one here's in the process because they just added the supercharger. So we're a Roush dealer. It's a Roush supercharger. And on these, we'll usually do those. We're trying to do Whipple. Right now, Whipple doesn't have the 2025 model year ready to go, so we can do California as well. So this is the one state, California's the one state we can't sell to on these because the Roush supercharger is 49 state. But you take the grill off, the front fascia off and everything, put that on. We're also doing for this year the illuminated logos. So this in here over here has already had the supercharger installed. And so that's illuminated logo gets put on as they put the grill back on. And then painted bumpers, they're done at the body shop. And then these already have they're working on the lowering kit on this one. So they have the IHC lowering kit. We do it right. 3 inches in the front, 5 inches in the back with a traction bar. So that way you don't lose any payload or any towing capabilities, and still give you, and it also is going to give you a nice ride, because that's the worst thing is to get a regular cab, lower it, and you just have that bouncy ride. You're not going to with ours. And then we also, then at that point, like this in here hasn't been done yet, we take it to a place off-site. It's still our techs and everything. They do an undercoating, spray and liner material undercoating to make it even quieter, and then spray and bed liner, and then they do window tint as well. So it's just kind of a complete package. And then, of course, the suede and leather is done. That's the only thing that's not done here. It's done at a company that we work with in Kansas City. So that's that way it can replicate as close to what the old Lightning of 2001 is. In fact, my daughter's got one of those, and so our goal was to replicate that as close as we could. And back then it was leather suede. A lot of other companies are doing maybe leather, but I think we do the best job of really making it look like that retro tribute to the old Lightning of the past. So
that's amazing. So once again, guys, if I want to get a Lightning, I can't do it in California. I got to go out of state to find the coolest Lightnings around. Last time it was Tennessee. This time here in Salina, Long McArthur Ford. If you guys need one, reach out, talk to Tim. He will hook you up and take care of you, unless you're in California. Then no luck.